Baseball News Club presents Yasiel Puig. Has he reached a crossroad in his career? Hello, my name is Chris. I'll be narrating this video where we're going to ask you to act and think like an owner. But before we start, I'm going to ask you to please hit the subscribe button, like the video, and please comment. Thank you very much. Now, Yasiel Puig, we're not going to go over his entire career, how he reached Major League Baseball, which is a very interesting story in itself. But this is a player who was ranked second in the Rookie of the Year awards in 2013. We're talking about a player that had all the tools, all the talent, a rookie with a ton of promise, and he was the type of player early on in his career when he was hot, you could jump on his back and ride his coattails all the way because he was just a very dynamic player. For me, I put him in a category as a C-rated player. He's not an A+, he's not a B+, he's not an all-star, he's not a horrible player. He has the potential, but again, he's a player that, to me, has a ton of potential to be a B or an A+ player. Now, he has 5 years in the league, so that's in between 3 and 6 years, so he's eligible for salary arbitration. He has a lifetime .277 batting average, .348 on-base percentage, and, you know, he's been pretty successful in the Division Series playoffs, Championship Series playoffs, but not the World Series. He struggled during the 2 World Series appearances he's been in. However, in his rookie year of 2013, he had a fabulous year and helped the Dodgers. Actually, he was one of the many players that helped them reach the playoffs. His fielding, now again, I'm thinking like an owner. I'm looking at him. He has a lot of assists, so you know he has a great outfield arm, and we all know that. But at the same time, on the other side of the coin, he has a lot of errors. So is it technical? Is it mental? Now, runners in scoring position with 2 outs is clutch stats. He did very well in 2019, but before 2019, he was never consistent in that area, so he wasn't really known as a clutch hitter. And left-handed pitchers, he struggled with throughout his career. So, you know, he has parts that are not too great about him as a player, but as an owner, when you're looking at him, I'd like to think at this stage in this video, as an owner, there's probably a lot of teams still looking at him, even with his numbers not being totally stellar, but he's still a great player to put in your lineup. Now, please comment. Let me know if you would take him on your team and why not. Now, on and off the field is where we get into another area with him. He's had a ton of struggles on and off the field. Love or hate the guy, as a fan, you think he's either, you know, there's 2 types of camps. He's a polarizing player, or people think that he's a promising player. He's a distraction, or he's misunderstood. Now, I've had the dubious honor of living in Southern California, San Diego for a large part of my life. So I know a lot of Dodger fans. I listen to the media in Los Angeles and San Diego. And, you know, you can talk to a lot of Los Angeles Dodger fans that are actually from LA, not outside LA. And a lot of them will have stories and rumors about Puig's partying in LA. He's very well known for going out and partying. So, and, you know, I don't think that's a big deal because, and I'm not comparing him to him, but Babe Ruth used to party like a rock star. So I don't think that's really a deal breaker if I'm an owner. There's no real comparison. But as an owner, is he a distraction? Is he poison? Because he has the perception now in Major League Baseball as one of those players that's a distraction. Now, when you define a distraction, it's someone that's not on the same page as everyone else on the team, the ownership, the management. So if he's doing things to take away from the focus of the team, that's a distraction. So it could be anything from his off-field stuff to what he does on the field, you know, that is not part of the winning type of philosophy. Now, the way I look at it is we all have a friend growing up in our 20s or 30s or even 40s. You know, we all have that friend. A friend that you love to hang out with, but throughout time, as you grow throughout the years, you get further apart from this friend and your friendship just kind of goes away. And it's because, you know, this friend could have DUIs, he gets in fights at bars, he has relationship problems, he gets fired from his job, whatever the case is. You know, that's the type of friend that we all have had, one where you were friends with him, but now you're just like, you know, not interested in being that guy's friend anymore. And, you know, it doesn't help when the Dodgers demoted him and then he goes straight out to partying. I mean, the guy was demoted, and next you know, there's video circulating of him partying. So again, you know, it's the perception, and it's not good. And another way to look at it, and this will probably help you out, is a rap sheet. Now, we know what a rap sheet is with a criminal. You can look at a criminal's rap sheet and look at it and go, wow, he's got a lot of thefts on here. He's, stolen cars, so he's a thief. Or he has a lot of violence on here, domestic violence, so he's a violent person. So you could look at the rap sheet of a person throughout their life and get a general idea how they are. And I think that's how you have to look at Puig. You look at his rap sheet and you're like, oh God, this guy's just full of drama. Now, in fairness to him, Adrian Gonzalez tried coaching him when he was on Los Angeles, talking to him about, don't drink out at bars and clubs, drink at home. So he's trying to give him, like, hey, I know you want to drink, but, you got to kind of do it this way. Now, bat flips, when he had his run-ins with the San Francisco Giants and Madison Bumgarner, bat flips in 2014 and 15, it's progressed today. The bat flips he did back then to upset the Giants, that's nothing compared to now. So I think that's kind of a wash. But, he's had a lot of issues with fans, his reckless driving incidents, with teams, other team players, with his own teammates, Justin Turner, management. He's just has, again, it's a rap sheet. He consistently seems to find drama. He consistently gets into trouble. So again, and please comment, as an owner at this point, are you still, after reviewing his rap sheet, reviewing all his stats, are you still interested? I don't think as many teams are interested in him at this point in this conversation, but I still think there are some. Now, was he too young with too much money? Was he too young and just didn't have the right amount of people around him? Was he not educated how to use the money? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Let's move into 2019. He was granted a free agency in October 2019. It comes into 2020. No one's picking him up. COVID hits in March, and then Atlanta Braves decided to take him, and Atlanta basically says, we'll take you, but it's contingent upon, a physical. Well, he fails because he tests positive for COVID, and that's it. He's done. He's no longer in baseball. He hasn't been picked up, and he's kind of become a footnote, but he's still a great player. He's done a lot of talents. I think with the right team and right teammates, he will blossom. He will be a good player. He's got a lot of potential, but on the wrong team, the wrong atmosphere, he could be destructive. He's just 28 years old, and he's been working out in the offseason, so he's got to focus going into 2021, and that's great to see because it shows a sign of maturity. He's realizing, hey, man, my window of opportunity the last couple of years has been fading, and I need to get my act together. But he has a short temper. He does not like being told what to do, and this is the key thing I want to bring up is he's got the reputation of being uncoachable. And in any sport, professional sport, Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, if you get the label of uncoachable, that's worse than anything you can label. I mean, you cannot be labeled uncoachable in any professional sport. It essentially means that you don't like being told what to do, and you don't take criticism to make yourself better, which is pretty much a death note if you're a professional player. So, and we've heard this throughout many different sports, is, you hear coaches say, I'll take average talent and someone that's coachable over someone with a super amount of talent that is uncoachable, which is Yasiel Puig. He is super talented, but is he uncoachable? That's the big thing. So again, please comment at this point if you are a owner, or if you think he's still going to be picked up in Major League Baseball. I think there's a small handful of teams that definitely can use him. I sometimes wonder is if he didn't come up with the Dodgers into a big market, would he still have the problems that he has today? So it just makes you wonder if he's if he's in a small market, how would he fare? Would he still be a good player? So at this point, would you still take him? Let me leave you with the final note. As of October 20th of 2020, it's announced he's being sued for alleged sexual assault. Now, this alleged incident happened on Halloween in 2018. He was at a Lakers game, and supposedly what happened is he went into the bathroom of the female defendant. The woman claims that he assaulted her. She went into the bathroom. The lawsuit says that Puig took the woman, forced her into the bathroom, grabbed her, trying to take her clothes off, touched her sexual organs during the struggle, and eventually pinned her with one arm and used his other arm to stroke his penis, exposing himself, eventually ejaculating. So she said she didn't know him. She met him in the VIP lounge while watching the game, and this is all according to the lawsuit. Now, the defendant is a professional athlete. This is from the plaintiff's attorney. A professional athlete, he uses celebrity status to intimidate and sexually assault a stranger. So that's what's being said. This is in the lawsuit. And she said, I was in complete shock because it happened so fast. It was terrifying and humiliating. I don't want anyone else to have to suffer this kind of trauma that I'm experiencing. So she's also saying that there's possibly other victims out there. So for him, given the last couple of years, given his status in Major League Baseball, this is not good for Yasiel. This is a very bad thing. He could be facing prison time, or it could be dropped. It could totally be a bogus thing. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. But his journey from Cuba, now here's the thing that's frustrating. If you ever get a chance, study and look up his journey from Cuba, how many times he tried getting here and all the danger he went through and all the really shady people he had to deal with to get here. He went through so much to make it and get the dream of being in America and playing for Major League Baseball. And you're going to ruin it with your behavior. You're going to ruin it with a sexual assault. You're going to ruin it with all your behavior on and off the field. So I think for Puig right now, he's definitely at a crossroads in his life. Hopefully this, isn't true. But if it is, this could be the end of his career. And if you're an owner, now what are you thinking? How many owners and how many teams are out there are still interested in Yasiel Puig? I hope this doesn't turn into a baseball tragedy. I hope everything comes out clear because he's still a young man. He still has a lot of talent. And, he was young with a lot of money. You could look at it that way. But there's a lot of players like, Acuna and Bryce Harper. They were young people with a lot of money. You don't see them in the same type of issues. So some people are like a moth to the flame and just seem to find trouble and drama. So hopefully the last 2 years he's matured and he's grown out of it, because it would be a tragedy if it ended like this. So that's where we're at as of November 17th, 2020. We're still waiting for the court case to move forward. So thank you very much for watching Baseball News Club. Have a great day.